Bitcoin has shown a short-term positive momentum shift, resulting in a rally past the daily and 12-hour 50 EMA. Will this short-term strength continue to the high timeframe charts, resulting in a rally back to 104,000, or are we going to see this short-term strength dissipate? In today's video, we are diving deep into the macro and the short-term. Let's dive on in. Okay, MegaWhale team, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Bitcoin has seen a fantastic short-term rally from the lows of 94,000, pushing back up to not only retest the range high of the current 2-week consolidation, but of course break out of the daily 50 EMA, the 12-hour 50 EMA, and of course that daily RSI downtrend, signifying that the initial stages of a reversal are potentially in play. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on answering one very important question, and that is, will these buyers be able to regain and maintain the short-term strength we have seen over the past 24 hours and push the price back up to our prior highs, or will this short-term rally fail? Before we get into it, smash the like button, hit the comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos for Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical, and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you were interested in, join us on Telegram. This is the first link down below. You'll get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop for cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. And if you were interested in taking your trading to the next level, join us on VIP by clicking the pinned comment. You can then click my name to contact me. The first link to find a 50+ month trading track record, and the second link to find a 10-minute video showing you inside the channel. You'll join over 700 members to get access to trading setups with exact entry prices, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, exclusive analysis, and so much more. If you were interested in joining the VIP, again, contact me. You'll get access to the main channel, and you'll get access to the various group chats we have with over, again, 700 members discussing cryptocurrency trading on a daily basis. Check it out, join up, and we'll catch you in there. Let's jump into it. So as we can see, the main points of interest we're going to be taking a look at is the consequence, or should I say the expected consequence, of the daily positive momentum shift we can see here on the RSI, and the breakout of the 50 EMA on the daily and 12-hour charts. We're also going to be taking a very deep look at the short-term price action, discussing what is happening over here as we approach this key level of horizontal resistance, and of course the significance of this retest and the weekly downtrend. What would happen if we break above? What do we need to see for that break above to occur? Where the price would likely move to if we were to break above? And what are the worst case scenarios for if we were to see a rejection from this level? If we do fail to break this region, where would Bitcoin go and what would that mean? We are also going to be taking a look at the altcoin market on the short term, discussing on that 4-hourly chart how the altcoin market is developing and our expectations, as well as the broader cryptocurrency markets. Let's start on our market data, taking a look at volume and liquidations. First and foremost, 24-hour volume, guys, up 6.8%, 159 billion. 24-hour liquidations pushing up 83%, pretty significant, 246 million, with 171 million in short liquidations as the market rallies toward the upside. Looking at the DXY, this is some good news for Bitcoin and the risk asset market. We are seeing the DXY falling below this horizontal level of support. Now, of course, we do have 24 hours remaining until this weekly candle close, so it is something we need to pay particular attention to. However, at the moment, it does appear we are actually printing deviation above this region, which could commence a stronger correction towards that midline. And of course, if we do see the DXY move down, generally this may be bullish for the risk asset market. Moving over to the S&P 500, we can see the S&P 500 is attempting to continue higher, with that RSI almost breaking through that downtrend on that weekly chart, signifying a potential positive momentum shift is lurking. But we do need to see that RSI close above. Of course, it is based on the closing price of the weekly candle, and therefore we will need to see at least around 6,160 to get that RSI closing above. If we closed here or below this price, it is unlikely the RSI will break through. Now, as you know, for us to expect continuations higher, we need to see that momentum flip positive. By doing so, it would signify for the first time since that exhaustion has been developing, the buyers are fully back in control. Where would we expect the price action to move towards? Simply expecting a potential move up to retest this uptrending resistance again, maybe into or close to that 6,300 to 6,400 region if the RSI were to break up. And of course, if we do not see that breakout, and instead if we see a rejection, it is expected the price action will move towards that 50 EMA. So we have two potential options over here, and the RSI is going to be what determines what we believe is more likely to occur. Let's move over to the broader markets and let's move into Bitcoin. Now, before we do, guys, if you're interested in getting 15 to 45% off all your trading fees, go ahead and sign up to BitGet, BitUnix, and BingX. These are the exchange links down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%. And of course, that trading fee discount will build up to 45% based on your trading volume. Again, you can check out the links down below. You'll support me making the content. You'll support the channel. And most importantly, you'll support yourself in your trading journey. Check it out. Sign up. Takes a few seconds and we'll jump back into the video. If you are looking for a new exchange or just want to support the channel, sign up to BitUnix with the link down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume, as well as access to a bonus reward center, and of course, all of the exclusive campaigns we run on this exchange. You'll also get access to BitUnix being a non-KYC exchange, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the globe without regulations. And most importantly, I only promote exchanges I trust and I use. As you can see, I trade on BitUnix very regularly, being the highest VIP level with over $500 million in trading volume for the last 30 days. And lastly, if you were interested in signing up to our other two exchanges, BingX or BitGet, you can also do that via the links down below. You as well will get the 15% trading fee discount and everything else that comes with it. Go ahead and sign up. Thank you for supporting. Let's jump back in. Okay guys, let's jump straight back into it. And we are starting on the daily chart, discussing the momentum, discussing the daily range, discussing the weekly chart, and then we'll break it down into the short-term time frame and discuss all the little things that are occurring and that weekly trend. So first and foremost, let's just get a broader overview of what we're looking at from a structural basis, and then we'll dive into the probabilities, and then we'll dive into the expectations, and then we'll dive into the technicals. But for now, let's just zoom out and talk about what we are seeing here. At the moment, we are in a horizontal consolidation. This, of course, is going to be between our two red lines, our daily lows, which are going to be at 88,000-ish, and our highs at 108,000. Essentially, we have been chopping sideways now since we broke into this range at around the beginning of November. We can also see, if we look at the RSI has been downtrending ever since this range began, signifying, again, momentum has been decreasing, and essentially, the sellers are more or less in control. What we are seeing now is that RSI is moving up towards that downtrend, breaking out of our most recent weekly downtrend, which we'll discuss in a second, signifying the initial signs of the buyers stepping back in, and again, the selling pressure being absorbed. We'll come back to that in a second. But overall, this is still going to be a horizontal consolidation, and our horizontal ranges are very, very important consolidation periods, which generally result in large reactions in the price action when these ranges break. If we were to give you an example, this was our most recent high time frame horizontal range on the daily chart. This was back in 2023. We saw this range last a period of around about 4 to 5 months, and when we broke through this range, we saw a very aggressive initial rally into the low historical resistance range on the VIPV, followed by a continuation in the direction of which that channel broke. So we are expecting upon the breakout, whether it be an upward break or a downward break, we see quite a volatile reaction in the price action, a volatile reaction which would likely be sustained for multiple weeks, if not a month or so. Meaning the range low is the critical level of support which we'll need to sustain, and the range high is essentially the high time frame trigger point where, if broken, would confirm a macro continuation into brand new highs. Okay, we're looking 120, we're looking 115, we're looking 121, we're watching those higher time frame targets. Now let's talk about the consequences of these ranges being lost. As we can see on both sides, the lowermost portion of the range and the highermost portion of the range, we have again price discovery up here, which is a low historical resistance range, okay? And we have a low historical resistance range below us. And this is measured by the visible range volume profile, which is indicated, you see on the right-hand side of the monitor. Of course, this is actually representing the historical volume traded, okay, on a horizontal basis. So volume usually is at the bottom, okay, when you see the volume sticks, that's vertical volume. This is horizontal volume. So the volume traded at particular price points on the asset over a period of time, the period of time being the visible range, the range of which we are seeing on the screen at the time. So as you can see, the visible range volume profile suggests a massive decrease in historically traded volume, particularly upon the loss of 88,000, and a massive decrease, particularly above the level of 108,000. And therefore, if the price were to break below or above, we would see a significant increase in volatility. And if we see an increase in volatility, volatility is just another word for strength in the direction of which the price action is moving, okay? We would see a large reaction downward if we broke, or upward if we broke. Our downward targets would be psychological levels such as 88,000, the 200 moving average, 76,000, and prior levels of support such as 69,000. Or our upward targets would be psychological levels 120,000, 115,000, and key targets such as 121,000. Those are the levels we are watching on the macro chart, guys. Keep that in mind. So we know the impact that would have on this chart. Let's zoom out and talk about the total. We'll come back in a second. Now, as you know, the Bitcoin chart or the Bitcoin asset holds around 61% dominance in the cryptocurrency market, and therefore is a main driver of the total market cap. As we can see on the total market cap, we are retesting a very significant level, the 2021 all-time high. If the 2021 all-time high is unable to sustain as support, we would see the bearish divergence, which has been developing, result in deviation, which is this red box, and thus the commencement of a macro downtrend to the 200 moving average. So for this to occur, we would need to see Bitcoin lose the 88K support. If we do not see Bitcoin lose the 88K support, instead of seeing deviation, what we would see would be a support resistance flip of the 2021 high, which would validate a strong continuation upwards, again potential targets being that uptrending resistance at around about a price point of 4-point-something trillion, which would be a significant rally for both Bitcoin and the altcoin market. So you can see how this consolidation has a massive role in determining where the market goes on both the short term and the macro. Now let's dive into the momentum and the short term technicals. We've got all of that out of the way. Very essential we contextualize what is going on. Now, the momentum is showing two things. Number one, we are seeing short term absorption, which is good to see. We are seeing an initial positive momentum shift from the downtrend that spans that weekly trend. So this is a downtrend, the weekly downtrend. We can see the momentum has flipped positive. Again, the two peaks we watch are represented by the two peaks on the trend line. The breakout of this downtrend increases the probability of a break of this trend line. Now, it doesn't confirm the breakout. Of course, to confirm a breakout, we need to see the price actually break through, but it increases the likelihood of that move to occur. Now, if we were to see that move to occur, the next level we are really paying attention to, and the point of which we are actually really paying attention to, is going to be the momentum represented during this entire period of consolidation. That is going to be that uppermost trend line on the RSI. A breakout of the uppermost trend line on the RSI would signify momentum is flipped positive. Prior instances we have seen on this would be our 8-month consolidation period. On the weekly chart, this was last year's macro consolidation. We had our 8-month descending channel formation. We had momentum finally break positive, and upon breaking positive on the weekly, after that breakout, we saw the price move toward the upside. The prior retests of the range high were all rejected from, while momentum remained negative, but the next retest post momentum flipping positive, we saw the breakout continue. So you can see how the momentum flipping positive is a leading indicator, as it suggests that the buyers are back in control and essentially the selling pressure has been exhausted. So if we want to be confident the price action is going to move to its $108,000 region, we need to see that RSI push a little higher. Now, what we can see on the daily is, of course, the 50 EMA has been broken. Now, we can actually move to a 12-hour chart as well, because the 50 EMA on the 12-hour is sitting basically at the same level due to the decrease in volatility over the last period of 2 weeks. We can also see what we had was the price compressing and decreasing volatility between the 50 EMA and that 200 moving average. We can see the 50 EMA has now broken, and this will act as a trigger point now toward the downside. What does that mean? It means if we're unable to sustain above the 50 EMA on this daily close, this upcoming daily close, 24 hours, this would act as a bearish trigger for a correction back into the consolidation we are seeing. That takes us to our short-term charts. If we take a look at the short-term price action, we'll start on the 4-hour chart. We can see the price action has bounced all the way back up to its prior highs, even breaking temporarily above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour. However, if we go to the hourly chart, we can see the price action is still within the upper region of resistance. So this is an area of resistance. And guys, resistance is resistance until it is not. This is not the place I would be aping into long positions. In fact, if you look at my trade over here, and I'll show you, this is a position where we actually exited. We actually pretty much exited bang on that retest of that high over here. We're looking to exit at our levels of liquidity, and again, we're looking to enter at those levels of demand. So in this instance, we are not looking for direct continuations. In fact, the probabilities are in favor of short-term pullbacks, but neither have been confirmed. For us to see a pullback, we need to see the level of resistance sustained to the point of which the RSI uptrend we have, which is momentum, flips negative. If we see that RSI breakdown, that would be confirmation that we are definitely going to see a strong correction, at least back. We're looking to the POC of this $97,000 region. Worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario, I believe we could see around 95.6 to around 95.4, this mid-channel level of liquidity. That would be worst case scenario if we do. Now, best case scenario, Bitcoin actually breaks through this most recently established high, and by doing so, we will see a breakout of the weekly uptrend. Now, as we mentioned moments ago, the breakout of the weekly uptrend would, as a consequence, result in a breakout of the daily downtrend in the RSI, or at least facilitate a test or retest of that level, and thus we would likely see a stronger continuation up, maybe 102, maybe 104 next week sometime. So we are at a critical level. We have seen a fantastic move upwards. Now, you're probably thinking, well, Whale, you know, why do you only show this stuff in VIP and not on the YouTube channel? Well, the reality is, guys, we've been talking about this for a while now. In our video before last, we told you guys we were watching for deviation to the range low into the sell side liquidity, and then we were looking for a continuation to the weekly downtrend. In fact, that played out basically as perfect. Look at how close, look at this retest, almost as perfect as it could have occurred. So again, we share all this stuff with you on the channel. We share all our thoughts. Every day I'm posting the best analysis I believe I should be posting and what I believe is most relevant. Of course, we can't cover everything. You know, so much stuff in the market. There's so many different levels to watch and technical levels, but I cover what, number one, I believe is best to be paying attention to, and number two, I analyze based on the way I trade. I'm a momentum trader, so therefore I'll be analyzing based on momentum mainly. Other people analyze on other things. So again, this is just the way I do it. I believe momentum is probably one of the best leading indicators for the price action, and you don't have to take my word for it. Again, you can go take a look at the channel, go into the VIP, go into the free channel, click that trading track record. This is, you know, 1,000 plus trades. Real trades I've taken, you know, real trades in VIP over here. Every single trade taken, exact entries, targets, stop losses, yada, 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 right? based on the principles I teach, and even based on the principles I use to analyze the market in these videos. So if you want to learn, again, the best way is just to listen. Sometimes listening is a good way to learn. But again, this is just the way I do it. Everyone's got their own method. Find what works for you as a trader. Find what works for you as an analyst. You need to find what resonates with you, what you enjoy, and how you like to trade the market, and do that. There are plenty of ways to skin a cat. This is just what I like to do. Thank you for tuning in. Have a fantastic day, guys. And we'll catch you in the next video on Sunday. Hopefully by Sunday, we will see a lot occur. We, of course, do have the upcoming weekly close next week. As always, right? Every week a new weekly close. And as per this week, we have seen that weekly range low hold. So it'll be interesting to see how we move into the next week close in 3 days. I'd be pretty shocked to see the price action massively rally to 104 in the next 3 days. I think if we do see all those bullish validation points met during this upcoming 3-day period, maybe in the next week, best case scenario, we could see that move. But there are, of course, still some warning signs on the high time frame we need to be aware of. So thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.